Welcome back, everybody. This is part 3 of our Small Business Matters series.
So, what are some resources nonprofits like yourself can use to help their day-to-day operations at this time? So that's talking about loans, grants, and any other volunteer or other things that you can think of that has helped you.
I can jump in. I'll jump in a little bit here, and I'm sure Deb will clean up anything that I miss. So straight up, I mean, honestly, donations, cash donations are and I know people find that hard to hear sometimes, but the reality is what we need today may not be what we need in 2 weeks. Depending on the situation or depending on if Amazon suddenly is able to fill all of our requests for disinfectant. So really what makes most difference for us is if we get cash donations, we can use that money as needs arise. And the other thing is that, while some people are weathering this financial crisis, all right, others are not. And some of those others are donating to us or did donate to us. So we've seen a loss at a very high level in terms of one of our major sponsors had to drop out very early due to COVID issues. We've also had it on the other end of the spectrum where we've had a very long time recurring donor, just a small amount every month, but she also had to stop giving because of this situation. And so I think that is really kind of a critical thing. We cannot take volunteers at the house right now. And as Deb pointed out, because of our bandwidth issues, because of our internet connectivity issues, we really can't do a lot of online support or any really for our clients. So the big thing is that donations help. They'll help us, with the infrastructure in the house in terms of, creating the bandwidth we need so that we can bring in services like that online, especially since we don't know how this is all going to go. I will give a shout out. We're running a May fundraising campaign right now. And another way that people can help if financial is not really in their wheelhouse is to not just follow us on social media. Following actually is not as important as reposting our stuff, sharing it, commenting, and giving it some more play within the social media networks, because our goal really is to enhance and increase and expand our audience. And we can do that through social media or, signing up for our newsletter, whatever the case is. So really at this point, digital footprint is kind of a huge, huge thing for us. In terms of just quickly going back to donations, I will say sustaining gifts make a huge difference. A lot of people think of sustaining gifts in terms of just like subscription services, public radio, things like that. But there isn't really, there's like very little, minuscule, if even that, dedicated funding for asylum seeking services. So for people in need of asylum, there is very little for the agencies here in the US that provide those services. But when donors give a sustaining gift, even if it's $5, $10 a month, every month, that creates a reliable, predictable funding stream for us, which helps us, be able to proactively respond to these crises in a way where, we know we have the funding that's there. So that's my plug for everything. Deb, I'm sure, Deb, you've got some stuff that you can add to that.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, again, you made it really clear, and I think the loans and grants or resources that are out there, of course, but they are, as Teresa is saying, they'll help us through this emergency, but we're looking for sustainability, and so that is one piece that's really important. And I think once things clear up, if you would, or the new normal, when we are able to communicate with folks, our residents, as Teresa said, the needs and services are very different. Asylum seekers are not allowed to earn an income during the process. So, where some shelters can depend on a food stamp or Medicaid, to kind of support their budget, we can't do that. So when we're saying these, reliable, predictable donations, funding sources, it's so that we can, the toothbrush, the very basic things that we take for granted. Oh, just go to the Dollar Tree. Well, yeah, but if you don't have any money, big deal. So and so making friends who can understand that. And then again, once we're in the new normal, residents need to make friends. They're brilliantly resourceful. So the connecting of donations to them, and then the people connection. But I mean, that's a different question. But I think donations and connecting social media, and right now especially, is hard. Not everybody, seems to. We're in different realms of what's right and what's wrong here, but I think the courage to be able to keep posting and forwarding and getting friends engaged.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of great content you guys have been posting, and I love to hear, people's stories and some type of things that they've had to leave behind at their country, and you're asking questions like, hey, what would you bring to the average person? And those are really cool, and I'd like to see people interacting on those posts. So keep posting, keep on bringing the your story out, because I think it's really important that people know about you guys, and I really want you to get these donations and get these this social media following, because it's going to be beneficial to everyone involved.